How's it going, everybody? My name is Ecruteak, and welcome to another challenge video. Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, the Johto games, Generation 2. Widely considered to be a sequel to Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, and Yellow. They did bring some quality of life improvements, like better sprite designs, music, being able to rebattle trainers, being able to see the experience bar in battle, and adding some new stuff like Dark and Steel types, breeding, 100 new Pokemon. Oh right, the Complete Living Dex Challenge. Now we have to get a hold of 250 Pokemon, because Celebi isn't available on the cartridges without other methods. Well, let's find out if we can obtain all 250 Pokemon in Pokemon Crystal. The rules are simple. While playing Pokemon Crystal, obtain one of each Pokemon in the game. Just like last time, there will be Pokemon missing, like the Kanto starters, legendaries, and fossils, but we'll trade those over. I'm also going to only use Pokemon found in the Johto region for the main team to keep it interesting. We won't use any legendaries on the team either. This was streamed over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/aceabade. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Once again, we start the game in our room. We talk to our mom and get the Poke Gear. We set the day and leave to go talk to Professor Elm. Elm wants us to get something from Mr. Pokemon and lets us take a Pokemon with us. We decide to take Cyndaquil with us. Elm then gives us his phone number and we leave. We make it to Mr. Pokemon's and get the egg he was talking about with Elm and a Pokedex from Professor Oak, who reminds everyone to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Professor Elm calls us with an emergency. We make it back to Cherry Grove before running into the person who is going to end up being our rival and is ruder than Straw Hat Mando was in the last episode. It turns out he stole a Totodile from Professor Elm, but he's not a very good trainer, so we win pretty easily. After getting back to Elm's lab, he tells us to take on the gym challenge, and we get 5 Pokeballs from his assistant and we can start our challenge. We start on Route 29 and manage to catch 3 Hoppip, 1 Rattata, and 1 Sentret, bringing the total to 3 Pokemon. On Route 30 we catch 1 Caterpie, 2 Leddyba, 1 Weedle, and 1 Pidgey, bringing the total to 7 Pokemon. We battle youngster Joey to get his phone number for the memes, and make our way back to Route 46 where we catch 1 Geodude, 1 Spearow, and learn that certain Pokemon can flee in battle. It can run! Bringing the total to 9 Pokemon. Youngster Joey then calls to remind everybody to follow me on all my socials. Links are in the description below. Going back towards Route 31, we catch 2 Bellsprout and go to Violet City to trade 1 Bellsprout for an Onix, bringing the total to 11. Next we take on Faulkner, the first gym leader, who brings out Pidgey first, who we roast with Cyndaquil. He then sends out Pidgeotto, and we swap Cyndaquil to reset our accuracy from Mudslap. After confusing Pidgeotto with Supersonic, we swap in Cyndaquil to land a finishing blow, winning us the battle and the Zephyr badge. When we walk out of the gym, Professor Elm tells us to go to the Pokemon Center to get an egg.
I'll offer you a nice egg.
We pick up the egg in the Pokemon Center and go to Route 32 and evolve Cyndaquil into Quilava. We then catch 1 Ekans, bringing the total to 12. We then stop inside the Pokemon Center outside Union Cave to get the Old Rod. While fishing on Route 32, we catch 1 Tentacool and 1 Magikarp, bringing the total to 14. We go back to Route 36 and catch 2 Growlithe. On the way back to Union Cave, we stop to visit the Ruins of Alph to catch 1 Unknown. I just realized why they call it the Ruins of Alph. Unknown represent the letters of the alphabet. It's the Ruins of Alphabet. The egg also hatched into Togepi, but we won't count it yet. Inside Union Cave, we managed to catch 2 Zubat and 1 Sandshrew to bring the total to 18. In Azalea Town, we talk to Kurt, who runs off to get hurt in the Slowpoke well, where we catch 2 Slowpoke. After chasing Team Rocket out of the cave, Kurt shows up looking not hurt, and we leave the cave. It was time to take on Bugsy, the second gym leader, who starts with Metapod. We start with Leddyba, and swap in Quilava, who uses Ember to one-shot the Metapod. Next up is Kakuna, who we swap in Leddyba for experience, and swap back in Quilava to one-shot with Ember. Last up is Scyther, and we once again swap in Leddyba for the experience, and then Quilava comes out with a couple of Ember, winning us the second badge. After the battle, Leddyba evolves into Ledian. Trying to leave town, our rival ambushes and battles us. He starts off by sending out Ghastly, who goes down to a couple of Ember. Next he sends out his Croconaw, and we swap in Hoppip to lessen the chance of Water Gun. We use a smoke screen to drop the accuracy. After that we go for Tackle for minimal damage, and he hits us with a Water Gun for a decent amount. We trade blows and heal for a couple of rounds, and then we use another smoke screen, and get hit with another Water Gun. We use Ember and burn Croconaw. It uses another water gun, bringing us down to 12 health. We use Tackle, Croconaw misses a water gun, giving us the chance to finish it off. Last up is Zubat. We use Ember and get the burn. Zubat uses Bite, and we use Ember again to get the win. The rival then storms off. In Elix Forest, we help a Farfetch'd return to its owner, receive Cut, and catch one Paris. We then get TM2 from this person, which contains Headbutt. We're going to put it to use to headbutt some trees. Some trees have the chance to drop certain Pokemon, but it's a complete guessing game, unless you use a Headbutt tree formula. By inputting your trainer ID and the location you're in, you can see what trees will spawn Pokemon. There will be a link in the description as well. And we're going to use this to catch one Apom and one Heracross in Azalea Town, one Hoot Hoot, 2 Execute, and 2 Pineco on Route 31, giving us 26 Pokemon. We go to Route 46 to catch one very elusive Phanpy. We go back to Route 31 for 2 Spinarak. While defeating trainers around Goldenrod, our Hoppip evolves into a Skiploom, but we won't count it yet. After that, on Route 34, we catch 1 Ditto, 2 Snubbull, 4 Abra, and 2 Jigglypuff, bringing the total to 32. We trade 1 Abra for a Machop at the Goldenrod department store, but we won't count that yet. It was time to take on the 3rd gym leader, Whitney, who starts with Clefairy. It opens up with Double Slap, which hits 3 times. We then landed a Sleep Powder. We then unleashed a series of Tackle before it woke up and used Metronome to get Poison Sting, poisoning us in the process. We put it back to sleep, heal up, and then Tackle again for the KO. The evil Bovine from Hell is up next. Miltank stomps us into the ground, and we miss Sleep Powder. It knocks us out with another stomp, and Quilava comes out, getting attracted before using Smokescreen. We swap in Machop, who gets one-shot by a stomp. Miltank uses Attract again, and we use Smokescreen. We swap in Paris, who dodges the stomp. We bring Quilava back out. We go for Smokescreen again. We go for Headbutt as it misses Attract, and follow it up with Ember. It stomps us again, flinching us. It heals up with Milk Drink, and we go for Ember. It misses Stomp, and we hit it with Ember. It goes for Milk Drink, and we go for Ember. This goes on for what seems like an eternity until we finally get the burn. When it finally lands Stomp, it barely does any damage. It lands one more Stomp, takes more burn damage, and we finish it off with Ember, making Whitney cry, giving us the 3rd badge. On the way up north, we run into the 1% encounter for Yanma, giving us 33 Pokemon. We then decide to use a spray bottle on a fake tree that attacks us, and ends up being Sudowoodo. In Ecruteak, we take on all 5 Kimono sisters with their evolutions to get the HM for Surf. We then go to the Burn Tower and catch 1 Raticate. We then run into our rival, who blames us for there not being any visible legendary Pokemon and fights us. He starts with Haunter, who uses Lick. We fail at using Sleep Powder twice, and he uses Spite. We fail another Sleep Powder, and we get cursed. We use Leech Seed, and Haunter uses Lick. After a 4th Sleep Powder, putting Haunter to sleep, we then use Synthesis to stall out Leech Seed and Curse. Haunter wakes up and uses Spite, and then faints. Next up is Magnemite, so we swap in Quilava for an Ember to quickly take it out. Next up is Croconaw, so we swap in Skiploom. We use Leech Seed, and it uses Leer. We fail Sleep Powder, and it uses Bite. We land a Sleep Powder and keep absorbing health from Leech Seed. We keep doing Tackle and absorb health until Croconaw goes down. Last up is Zubat, and we swap in Quilava. We take it down to half health with Ember, and it lands a Confuse Ray. We use Ember again, taking down Zubat and winning the fight. We then fall through a hole in the floor and end up waking the Pupperinos up as they scatter to the winds. While down there, we catch 1 Coughing and 1 Wheezing, bringing the total to 37 Pokemon. Next, we head west to Route 38 to catch 2 Pidgeotto, 1 Tauros, 2 Magnemite, evolve Skiploom into Jumpluff, and catch 1 Miltank, giving us 42. In Olivine City, we get the Good Rod and put it to use by catching 2 Krabby and 1 Corsola to make 44 Pokemon. We go to trade one of the Krabby for a Voltorb. We also pick up an Eevee from Bill and Goldenrod, but we won't count that yet. We go pick up an odd egg from the daycare and drop off Eevee and Ditto. We'll check in on them later. We hatch the odd egg to get a Tyrogue that we won't count yet. It was time to take on Morty for the 4th badge. Morty starts with Ghastly, and we send out Quilava. 1 Ember takes it down. Next up is Haunter. We use Ember, and it uses Nightshade. We use Ember again, taking it down. Next up is Gengar. We swap in Jump Bluff and use Sleep Powder. Next we use Leech Seed. We swap in Quilava and use 2 Ember, taking it down. Last up is the second Haunter, who we use Ember against as it uses Mean Look. 1 more Ember and Haunter goes down, giving us the 4th gym badge. On the way to Cianwood, we catch 1 Tentacruel and 1 Mantine, giving us 47 Pokemon. When we get there, we get a gift Shuckle. In the north part of Cianwood, we scare off Suicune. It was time to take on the next gym for the 5th badge. Chuck starts with Primeape. We start with Sleep Powder and swap in Quilava. We use Flame Wheel twice to take it out. Next up is Poliwrath and we swap in Jump Bluff. We use Sleep Powder. Chuck uses a full heal and we use Leech Seed. We use Sleep Powder again and swap in Magnemite. We use Thundershock a couple of times to take it down, giving us the 5th badge. We go up the Olivine Lighthouse and talk to Jasmine and give medicine to an Ampharos. On the way to Mahogany Town, we catch a Golbat in Mount Mortar. On the way to the Lake of Rage, we catch a Farfetch'd. At the Lake of Rage, we catch the shiny Water Onix and evolve Magnemite into Magneton. Battling through the Rocket Hideout, Togepi evolves into Togetic, and we catch an Electrode. While battling through the 7th gym in Mahogany Town, because you can do some of the gyms out of order, Spinarak evolves into Ariados. Now it's time to get our 6th badge. Price starts with Seal and we start with Quilava and use Headbutt. Seal uses Icy Wind, dropping our speed. We go for Headbutt again, taking it out. Dugong is next and we swap in Zubat and then swap Quilava back in to reset the speed. We get hit with an Aurora Beam. We use Smokescreen and Dugong goes for an Icy Wind. We go for Headbutt as Dugong misses its Headbutt. Another round of Headbutts from both Pokemon, followed up with a Flame Wheel, taking it out. Last up is Piloswine as we swap in Zubat. Quilava comes back out and Piloswine goes for Fury Attack. We follow up with a Flame Wheel, taking it out and getting the 6th badge. Quilava also evolves into Typhlosion. We go back to Olivine for the 7th badge. Jasmine starts out with Magnemite. We swap out Snubbull for Typhlosion and get hit with a Thunderbolt. We take it out with a Fire Punch. Next up is Steelix, so we swap in Snubbull and swap out for Typhlosion again to get hit by Iron Tail, which lowers our defense. We hit it with a Fire Punch, taking it out. Last up is Magnemite, so we swap in Snubbull and then swap back in Typhlosion to get hit by another Thunderbolt. We knock it out with a Fire Punch, winning the fight and getting the 7th badge. While leveling up in the Radio Tower against Team Rocket, Snubbull evolves into Granbull and Abra evolved into Kadabra. Going under the Radio Tower, our rival runs into us and wants to battle again. The rival starts with Golbat and we start with Zubat. We swap in Typhlosion and get hit by a Wing Attack. We use Thunder Punch and get hit with Confuse Ray. We hit ourselves and Golbat uses Wing Attack. This goes on for a couple of turns until we're able to use Headbutt, taking out the Golbat. Next up is Feraligatr and we swap in Jump Bluff. We take a Bite and a Scary Face, dropping our speed. Feraligatr uses Bite and we use Tackle. Another Bite and we use Leech Seed. We keep going for Tackle and it goes for Bite until we go down. We send in Typhlosion and use Thunder Punch, taking it out. Next up is Haunter. We heal up Zubat and Haunter uses Curse. We take it out with a Fire Punch. Next up is Sneasel and we swap in Zubat and then Typhlosion. We get hit with a Feint Attack and then take it out with a Fire Punch. Last up is Magnemite. We swap in Zubat and then Typhlosion and get hit with Thundershock. We take it out with a Fire Punch, winning the battle. The rival runs off again. After fighting a little more, Zubat evolves into Golbat, but we won't count it yet. After fighting all of Team Rocket in the Radio Tower, they disband. We're given the clear bell by the radio director for later. At the ruins of Alph, we catch 1 Smeargle, 2 Natu, 1 Wooper, and 1 Quagsire, bringing the total to 62 Pokemon. Now we need to catch some Pokemon you can only find at night and on certain days. In order to do this, we change the clock. You can do this in Pokemon Crystal on the screen with Suicune by pressing Select, B, and down, then letting go of B and down, but still holding Select, press up and left while holding Select, and then letting go of Select while still holding up and left. You enter your password from the generator website that's in the description. In order to get the password, you input your player name, your player ID number, and the amount of money you currently have in the game. After you hit OK, the screen will reset and you'll be able to change the day of the week and the time. After doing this, we go to the national park for the bug catching contest to catch 2 Scyther and 1 Pinsir. Next, we go back to Sprout Tower for 3 Ghastly. Back on Route 37, we catch 1 Stantler, and after a little more fighting, our Golbat evolves into Crobat, giving us 67 Pokemon. We also evolved another Abra and a Kadabra for later. On the way to the Ice Path, we catch a Tangela, and on Ice Path, we catch a Delibird and a Sneasel. We also evolved Natu and a Xatu for 71 Pokemon. Back at the National Park, we catch 2 Sunkern, 3 male Nidoran, 3 female Nidoran. Backtracking to Elix Forest, we catch 2 Kakuna, 2 Metapod, 4 Oddish, 1 Psyduck, 2 Venonat, 1 Beedrill, and 1 Noctowl, bringing the total to 81. We go back to National Park and catch a Butterfree. On Route 35, we surf around and catch 1 Golduck. On Route 30, we surf and catch 1 Poliwag and 3 Poliwhirl. In Mount Mortar, we catch 2 Marill. On Route 43, we catch a Bellsprout to evolve later and a Weepinbell. We then evolve a Sunkern into Sunflora with a Sunstone, and Weepinbell into Victory Bell with the Leaf Stone, bringing the total to 88. We go evolve Bellsprout into Weepinbell next. After that, we go to Olivine to catch 1 Chinchou. Then we go to Route 34 to catch 2 Drowsy to bring the total to 91 Pokemon. South of Blackthorn City on Route 44, we catch 2 Graveler, 1 Donphan, 1 Skarmory, 1 Gligar, and evolve Nidoran into Nidorino, giving us 96 Pokemon. Finally, it was time to get our 8th badge at Blackthorn against Claire. She starts off with a Dragonair, and we use Quagsire. Dragonair hits us with Surf, and we go for Amnesia. It goes for Slam, and we use 2 more Amnesia. We get hit with a critical Slam and use Ice Punch. The next Slam misses, and we go for Ice Punch again. Another miss on Slam, and we knock it out with Surf. Another Dragonair comes out. We heal, and he uses Slam twice, as we crit with an Ice Punch. We get hit with another Slam, and take it out with Surf. Dragonair number 3 comes out, we heal up, and it uses Slam. We use Ice Punch to take it down to red health. It hits us with Slam, and we take it out with Ice Punch. Last up is Kingdra, who almost takes us out with Hyper Beam, as we hit it with Ice Punch. For some reason, it uses Hyper Beam on our 4 HP and takes us out. Jumpluff comes out and uses Leech Seed. Kingdra uses 2 Smokescreen as we go for Sleep Powder. We swap in Xatu as Claire uses a Hyper Potion. She then uses a full heal as we go for Nightshade. Kingdra takes us out with Surf. Typhlosion comes out with Headbutt, and Kingdra uses Smokescreen. We take Kingdra out with 1 more Headbutt, winning us the fight, but we don't get the 8th badge yet. In the Dragon's Den, we catch 1 Dratini. After taking the test, Claire gives us our 8th badge. On our way out of Victory Road, our rival challenges us. They start with a Sneasel, and we start with Xatu. We swap in Typhlosion as they miss a Screech. We take it out with 1 Fire Punch. Next up is Feraligatr, so we swap in Jumpluff. We use Sleep Powder, and then swap in Typhlosion to take it out with a Thunder Punch. Next up is Golbat. We use Thunder Punch as it uses Wing Attack. Fire Punch takes it out. Next up is Haunter, as we send in Quagsire. Haunter uses Curse as we take it out with Earthquake. Next up is Kadabra. We swap in Xatu and use Fly. It goes for Future Sight, but we knock it out when we come back down. Last up is Magneton, as we send in Quagsire. It uses Sonic Boom as we knock it out with Earthquake, winning the fight, and the rival runs off. While in Victory Road, we catch 1 Rhyhorn, 1 Rhydon, and 1 Onix. Back at Toho Falls, we catch 1 Seaking and 1 Goldie, bringing us to 101 Pokemon. In the Dark Cave, we catch 1 Ursaring, 1 Wobbuffet, and 1 Teddiursa. On Route 26, we catch 1 Ponyta, 1 Arbok, 2 Doduo, 1 Sandslash, and evolve Hoppip into Skiploom, and evolve 2 Ghastly into Haunter. We then took the time to evolve some Pokemon. Tyrogue into Hitmontop, 2 Nidoran into Nidorina, and Marill into Azumarill. It was then time to take on the Elite Four. First up was Will, who starts with a Xatu. We send out Xatu and swap in Typhlosion and get hit with Psychic. We use Thunder Punch and take it out with 1 hit. Next up is Slowbro, so we send out Jumpluff. We use Sleep Powder and Leech Seed. It wakes up and uses Amnesia. We then fail Sleep Powder and it uses Curse. We fail another Sleep Powder and get hit by Psychic. We land Sleep Powder and then swap into Typhlosion. It wakes up and hits us with Psychic. We use Thunder Punch and barely live a Psychic before Leech Seed takes out Slowbro. Next up is Xatu, who gets hit by a Thunder Punch before taking us out with Psychic. We send in Xatu, who gets hit by Confuse Ray while healing Typhlosion. We use Fly and it misses a Psychic before landing another Confuse Ray. We use Fly again, getting hit by Psychic as we land. We hit ourselves in confusion and get hit by Psychic. We land another Fly, taking out Xatu. Next up is Jinx, who we take out with one Fire Punch. Last up is Executor, who also goes down to one Fire Punch, giving us the win. Koga is up next and starts with Ariados, and we send out Xatu. We hit with Fly, and he uses Baton Pass into Fortress. We send out Typhlosion and get hit by Swift before using Fire Punch. Next up is Muck as we swap in Quagsire. It uses Acid Armor as we use Earthquake, taking it to almost half health. It fails Toxic as we use Earthquake again. It goes for Sludge Bomb for minimal damage as we finish it off with a Surf. Next up is Ariados again as we swap in Xatu. We use Fly to dodge a Spiderweb and take it out. Next up is Venomoth. We use Fly and dodge a Psychic. We get hit with Toxic as we go for another Fly, dodging a Supersonic, taking it out. Last up is Crobat, who we swap in Typhlosion for. It goes for Double Team as we go for Thunder Punch. It goes for Wing Attack as we take it out with Thunder Punch, winning us the fight. Bruno's up next, who starts with Hitmontop. We use Future Sight as it uses Pursuit. We go for a Fly, dodging Pursuit as it uses Detect to block Fly. It gets hit by Future Sight for almost no damage. We repeat the Fly cycle again 4 more times to burn out Detect until Hitmontop does Detect early, allowing us to use Fly, getting hit by Pursuit afterwards. It goes for Quick Attack as we finish it off with Nightshade. Next out is Onyx, who we send out Quagsire for. Onyx goes for Bind as we knock it out with Surf. Next out is Hitmonlee, who we send Xatu out for. We go for Fly, dodging Swagger, and taking it out. Next up is Hitmonchan, who we use Fly, dodging an Ice Punch, and getting hit with an Ice Punch, taken out with Nightshade. Last up is Machamp, who we use Fly against, dodging one Rock Slide, and getting hit by another, taking out Xatu. We send out Typhlosion to use Fire Punch, getting hit by a Rock Slide. Machamp heals up as we use another 2 Fire Punch, getting taken out by Rock Slide. We send out Quagsire, getting hit by a Cross Chop and using Surf. We get taken out by another Cross Chop and send out Crobat, using Wing Attack to win the battle. Next up is Karen, who starts with the Umbreon, and we start with Crobat. We use Confuse Ray as it hits itself in confusion. We use Leech Life as Umbreon uses Sand Attack. We use Confuse Ray again as Umbreon hits itself. We swap in Jump Bluff as Umbreon uses Feint Attack. We use Sleep Powder, and then Leech Seed, and then Tackle. Umbreon wakes up and uses Feint Attack. We use Sleep Powder again, and Tackle 2 more times, taking out with Leech Seed. Next up is Houndoom as we send out Quagsire. It hits us hard with Crunch as we take it out with Earthquake. Next up is Vileplume as we send out Typhlosion. We use Fire Punch and almost take it out, but it goes for Stun Spore, cutting our speed in half. It uses Moonlight to heal as we take it out with another Fire Punch. Next up is Gengar, and we send out Jump Bluff. It uses Curse as we miss Sleep Powder. It paralyzes us with Lick as we use Sleep Powder and then use Leech Seed. We swap in Quagsire, get hit by Lick, and take it out with Earthquake. Last up is Murkrow as we send in Typhlosion. We get hit by Feint Attack as we almost take it out with a Thunder Punch. We get hit with Feint Attack as we take it out with a Headbutt, winning the fight. Last up is Lance the Flying Champion, who starts with Water Onix. We hit it with Thunder Punch as it goes for Rain Dance. We take it out with another Thunder Punch. Next up is Aerodactyl as we bring out Quagsire. It goes for Ancient Power, and we hit it with Surf. It hits us with Hyper Beam as we take it out with Surf. Dragonite comes out as we send out Xatu. We go for Fly, but it takes us out with Thunder. We send out Jumpluff, who gets obliterated by Hyper Beam. We send out Quagsire and use Ice Punch. We then get taken out by another Hyper Beam. We send out Crobat for Confuse Ray, and then get obliterated by Thunder. We send Quagsire back out and dodge a Hyper Beam to take it out with Ice Punch. Next out is another Dragonite who obliterates us with Hyper Beam. We send out Typhlosion to revive Quagsire and Jumpluff and get hit with Thunder Wave. We get hit with Hyper Beam and use Smokescreen twice. We get taken out by Hyper Beam and send out Jumpluff. We use Leech Seed and get taken out by Blizzard. We send out Quagsire, dodge Blizzard, and use Ice Punch. We dodge Hyper Beam again and take it out with Ice Punch. Next up is the third Dragonite who goes for Outrage as we bring it down to half health with Ice Punch. We get taken out by Outrage and send out Eevee. We use a Max Revive on Quagsire and Eevee goes down to Outrage. We send Quagsire out, Dragonite hits itself and goes down to an Ice Punch. Last up is Charizard who hits us with a Hyper Beam as it goes down to 2 Surf, winning us the fight and making us the champion of the Johto region. Once we get back home, Elm gives us the SS ticket. On the boat, we evolve an Oddish into Gloom for later. After completing the power plant shenanigans, we get the expand card for our Pokegear, which we put to use now to get Snorlax outside Vermilion City and a Diglett inside Diglett's cave to give us 115 Pokemon. We can take in all the Kanto gym leaders and talk to Professor Oak, who gives us access to Mount Silver to catch more Pokemon. We can go catch all the missing Pokemon from both Johto and Kanto. Outside of Mount Silver, we catch 1 Rapidash. Inside, we catch 1 Magmar, 2 Machoke, 1 Parasect, 3 Larvitar, and 1 Misdreavus. On Route 2, we catch 2 Pikachu. In Mount Moon, we catch 2 Clefairy. Deep in Union Cave, we catch 1 Lapras. On Route 38, we catch a Meowth. On Route 7, we catch 1 Murkrow, 2 Houndour, and 1 Persian. Back at Diglett's Cave, we catch 1 Dugtrio. West of Celadon City, we catch 1 Grimer. In Celadon, we catch a Muck. In Rock Tunnel, we catch 1 Cubone, 1 Marowak, and 1 Kangaskhan. At Slowpoke Well, we catch 1 Slowbro. Back in Olivine, we catch 2 Shelder, and 1 Lantern. In the Whirl Islands, we catch 2 Seal, 1 Kingler, 1 Horsey, and 2 Seadra. On Icy Path, we catch 2 Swinub, and 1 Jinx. In Cherry Grove, we catch 2 Staryu, and on Route 44, we catch 1 Lickitung. At the Tin Tower, we catch Suicune. On Route 13, we catch 3 Chansey. On Route 10, we catch an Electabuzz. At the Dragon's Den, we catch 2 Dragonair. On Route 43, we catch 1 Furret. On Route 12, we catch a Quillfish. On Route 21, we catch a Mr. Mime. On Route 17, we catch 2 Slugma. In Dark Cave, we catch 1 Dunsparce. At the top of Tin Tower, we catch Lugia. End up hatching 5 Eevee eggs for later. Whisper sweet nothings into Raiko's ear. Have you tried whispering sweet nothings to them? Nothing. Hatch a Pichu. Use the Master Ball on Entei. Evolve Eevee into Umbreon. Hatch a Cleffa and an Igglybuff. Whisper sweet nothings into Ho-Oh's ear. Oh yeah, I forgot. Remember how we did Raikou? Nothings. There's no way that works. Hatch a Togepi, 2 Tyrogue, 2 Cyndaquil, 1 Smoochum, 1 Magby, 1 Elekid. Catch a Pidgeotto on Route 16, 1 Machop and receive a Tyrogue on Mount Mortar, and bought 2 Porygon from the Celadon Casino, giving us 171 Pokemon. During the nighttime, we can go to a separate part of Mount Moon to see 2 Clefairy dancing and get a Moonstone. We get 4 and evolve Clefairy into Clefable, Jigglypuff to Wigglytuff, Nidorina to Nidoqueen, and Nidorino to Nidoking. We also took the time to evolve some other Pokemon. Drowsy to Hypno, Doduo to Dodrio, Spearow to Fearow. After raising its happiness, accidentally evolve Eevee into Umbreon instead of Espeon, Oddish to Gloom, Venonat to Venomoth, Shelter to Cloyster, Staryu to Starmie, Poliwhirl to Poliwrath with Waterstone, Growlithe to Arcanine with a Firestone, Pikachu to Raichu with a Thunderstone, Gloom to Vileplume with a Leafstone, 3 Eevee into Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon with their stones, Gloom into Blossom with a Sunstone, Slugma to Magcargo, Seal to Dugong, Swinub to Piloswine, Cyndaquil to Quilava, 2 Tyrogue into Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, Houndour into Houndoom, Pineco into Fortress, Pidgeotto to Pidgeot, Larvitar to Pupitar, Pupitar to Tyranitar, Chansey into Blissey, Dragonair to Dragonite, Execute into Executor, Eevee into Espeon with Happiness. And finally, we take a Chansey to Route 14 to trade for an Aerodactyl, giving us 206 Pokemon. And that's every Pokemon you can get from Pokemon Crystal. But I hear you asking, Ace, what about the rest? Well, just like last time, we'll have to trade over a few Pokemon, courtesy of Pokemon Stadium 2, and a copy of Pokemon Gold, Silver, and the Pokemon Yellow we used during our Kanto journey. We trade over Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Ammonite, Omastar, Kabuto, Kabutops, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Mewtwo, Mew, 2 Vulpix, 3 Chikorita, 3 Totodile, 2 Mareep, 1 Ampharos, 2 Mankey, 1 Girafarig, 2 Remoraid, and evolved Kadabra into Alakazam, Haunter into Gengar, Graveler into Golem, Machoke into Machamp, Onix into Steelix, Slowpoke into Slaking, Seadra to Kingdra, Porygon to Porygon 2, Poliwhirl to Politoed, and Scyther into Scizor, giving us 242 Pokemon. Now that we're done with that, we can evolve the rest. Vulpix into Ninetales with a Firestone, Chikorita into Bayleaf, Bayleaf into Meganium, Totodile into Croconaw, Croconaw into Feraligatr, Mareep into Flappy, Remoraid into Octillery, and finally Mankey into Primeape to make 250 Pokemon and complete the Pokedex. Just like last time, we can go over to Celadon City to speak to the person who gives us a certificate for completing the Pokedex. Yeah, I mean, it do be like that, you know? It's crazy. We finished... I think somebody's at my door. Hold on. So I got a package, just like last time, I guess. Maybe this is gonna be a recurring thing. Who knows? Okay. Dear Pokemon Trainer Ace Abade. That's me. That's cool. Congratulations on completing the Johto Region Pokedex. You have once again shown you were a very capable trainer willing to step up to the occasion. Cool. But the journey isn't over. We have received word from the Hoenn region's Professor Birch, who needs help on a new Pokedex. Will you be the one to take on this challenge? We do hope you're able to. We're starting to believe in you. They believe in me. Sincerely, the Johto Silver Conference. P.S. Inside this box is a small token of appreciation. We have the Johto map right here. That's pretty cool. Cool. All right, check this out. So the Johto League Silver Conference, and it's a certificate we just looked at too. So that's a thing, but that's not all. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to see what else we're doing, check out the stream over on twitch.tv/aceabade. All the links are in the bio. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye guys.